All right, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for today's investor pitch. Quick background on International Accelerator. We are a 12-month on-site accelerator program based in Austin, Texas, and we partner exclusively with foreign-born founders, helping them to launch and scale their businesses in the US market. For our portfolio companies, some of the items that we help them with are everything from immigration through formation and ultimately scaling their revenue and growing their client base in the US all the way through their Series A fundraising round. In today's agenda, we're going to be presenting 3 of our portfolio startups who will be given 15 minutes each to pitch. After today's call, we'll be sharing contact information with each of the startups that pitch. But during this call, if you have any questions, please feel free to either send them to me directly in the chat or by email to jack@iaccelerator.com. Up first is going to be Influcracy, and they have built the world's largest influencer marketing network, helping companies to source, manage, and track their influencer marketing campaigns all in one place.
The problem. So let's talk about the problem first. So what is the problem with influencer marketing? The influencer marketing has been there for quite some time now. It's not a new trend. It's a traditional influencer marketing, which is a problem. The traditional influencer marketing itself is very complicated, a chaotic process. There is no, accountability as such. It's a complete wild west, right? So what is the solution to it? The solution is Influcracy. So Influcracy is revolutionizing not only digital or influencer marketing but entire marketing as a phenomenon. And we are doing that with help of the largest global platform for with brands and influencers. So how do we do it? What is the magic behind Influcracy that we have? So as Jack mentioned in our introduction, we have a largest pool of influencers. We have more than 92,000 influencers registered with Influcracy right now. So this helps us in the smart matching process, which we do with the brand. So any brand that comes to the platform can just put the requirements of the marketing, influencer marketing, and our system will be able to match them with the relevant influencers of their needs. So that they can get in touch with those influencers and execute their influencer marketing campaign. So what is the difference that we're doing? So let's imagine you have a brand, and there are people, let's say you are an Austin-based brand. So how about 200 or 300 influencers based out of Austin talking about your brand at the very same time? Sounds very overwhelming, right? Influcracy makes it easy for you. Your brand will be talked by 200 or 300 micro and nano macro influencers at the same time, which we call a guerrilla marketing tactics. So that is something that we have unique with us, so that your brand can gather those eyeballs very quickly, and you can have that reach, or you can have that engagement with your brand, like in a rapid action force, like an entire force of influencers is working around your brand. So that is something that we do. We also have a dynamic pricing model. So the pricing that is shown to the brand for the influencers is a system generated pricing. It's not the pricing that influencers code. So our system actually analyzes the data of the influencer, their past performances, and other metrics which help us to give a pricing for each influencers which comes the way. So maybe influencers having a different follower base, a different engagement rate, but their pricing might be same. And at the same time, influencers having similar follower base get different pricing. So it's all dynamic. So that is how we do it, and that is the magic behind Influcracy. So let's talk about our business model, which is quite simple. We charge influencers for every transaction payout that they do with us. So influencers, if they want to withdraw money out of the system, they will be charged. And at the same time, we are charging brands if they want to do a monthly subscription model with us, where they can take advantage of a la carte services that Influcracy provide them. So let it be just generating analytics or report, or the discovery of influencers, or other services that they want to do to a platform. So let's talk about the go-to-market strategy that Influcracy has. It's quite simple. So let's say, how do we acquire brands? We, being influencer marketing company itself, we must take advantage of what we have and what is our strength. That is influencers. So our first way of acquiring new brands is through influencer marketing ourselves. So we leverage our networks of influencers and help get more and more influencers on board, and at the same time show the brands that the strength of influencers that we have. Other models that are already there, we run the ad campaigns through LinkedIn, email, and other social media platforms as well. Our differentiation, as I mentioned, we are having a dynamic pricing model and guerrilla marketing tactics, which help us, do these kinds of campaigns at a large scale. And the network that we have more than 92,000 influencers, is a great strength that Influcracy right now has. So let's talk about the market size. Influencer marketing is a very big market, right? Is around a $31 billion market right now, and which is growing at a CAGR of 11.6%. So by 2027, the market is expected to reach around $47 billion, which is great, because being in such a huge market is advantage in itself. So when I talk about such a big market, it comes with competition as well. So we don't shy in saying that we have a lot of competition in this space. We definitely have, and that makes us happy, rather than making us sad, because more the competition, we are validated that the market we are in is really good market. So how we are separating ourselves from our competition? So there are 4 points: programmatic approach, which I mentioned, in the beginning. So what is programmatic approach? We are the matching these influencers with the brand programmatically. That means system takes the data, matches the influencers based on the data, and also the pricing is done with the data that we get from the influencers. The data consists of the different parameters like the followers, engagement rates, the past performance of the influencers, their authenticity of their followers, everything like that. And then the system matches them with the relevant brands. This programmatic approach is basically any brand that puts the a new campaign requirement, it will work so dynamically. Then when there is a less demand, then when there is a more supply of influencers, the prices will change accordingly. So that is how we are building this programmatic system. We have more than 50,000 direct APIs from Instagram. E-commerce integration is something that we have in our roadmap, where we will be integrating different e-commerce platforms with Influcracy, and one-click media amplification tool, where whatever content influencers are making for your brand, you can just amplify those content and make that your own ad campaign. So that is something that we are uniquely proposing in this case. In terms of traction, as we mentioned, we have more than 90,000 influencers with us, and these influencers come from around 173 countries. We have more than 15,000 influencers from United States, and this because we are currently targeting United States markets. We are very much active in the US market. This gives us a little bit more advantage than the competition that we have. Going ahead, this is the just snapshot of the influencers that we have currently. I'll just now talk about few of our testimonials with the brands that we have worked with. We have worked with a brand called Alaskan Brewing Company, or Alaska-based beer brand. We did campaign with this brand where influencers, influencers like sports category, the trekkers, they had this particular niche, and we were able to work with them with around 5 influencers who created content and worked with this brand. And the another brand was Burke Williams Spa, which is a California-based spa chain. We worked with 8 influencers with this brand, which were female influencers. And guess what? The brand just gave these influencers only the services that they provide. Let's say a $200 spa service, and influencers made content around this brand and actually were able to convert this brand to the sales. So that is the huge success that we saw through this campaign. Our team, I and Vinay, we are both co-founders. We come from varied backgrounds. We are both engineers, and Vinay has a digital marketing experience of more than 7 years. He has worked with a YouTube channel called DIY Ocean. With the channel he started and took that channel from zero subscriber to more than 1 million subscribers. And that is what he comes from, and it's his strength. The marketing is his strength. I also come from a background. I'm a computer engineer, and then I worked in a data analytics, and I also did my MBA in marketing, my post graduation. We have Angelos as our mentor and advisor on board, and he helps us through entire process of being in Austin and integrating or what I can say, penetrating to the Austin market and the States market. So he's been like a big force behind us. The product roadmap. So Influcracy, we are being very ambitious with Influcracy, and we will be uh, achieving our target soon. We are launching our self-served version of our platform in next 2 weeks. So be ready for that. With Influcracy, we will be working with different social medias. We started with Instagram, but during South by Southwest 2023, we launched our LinkedIn platform. Which is called Ally by Influcracy. This platform helps monetize your LinkedIn engagements, and I take pride in saying that we are the first ones doing that. So if you have your LinkedIn connections, you have your LinkedIn network, you can just come on that platform, engage with the different posts, different LinkedIn posts which are being promoted on the platform, and boom, you can earn few dollars, just by engaging, just by liking, commenting, or sharing that post. So that is something which no one has done, and we are doing that currently. We have more than 100 users already there without any marketing that we have done there. We are still refining the platform, and that will also be launched in full fledged in next 2 weeks. So please look forward to that as well. Going ahead, I'll talk about the capital ask that we have. We are raising $500,000 right now. Most of which will go to the product development, and 40% of that will go to product development. We have by far raised $65,000, and we are planning to close this round as soon as possible. So yeah, this is about the fundraising. Thank you so much. We are happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Couple questions we have here.
Sure,
what are some of the specific types of brand clients that you're targeting? Are you focused specifically? I know you had Alaskan Brewing on there, as well as the spa company, but are you targeting a specific vertical like fashion or CPG? And maybe you can dive into the specifics of what would make an ideal client, or any other examples you have.
Influcracy does not have any, specific niche only that they will be interested in doing. But to answer your question, if we talk about go-to-market strategy, if we talk about, the first category that we would like to serve is basically, I think, the professional services or small or medium-sized enterprises, where people do not have a big marketing team which take care of sourcing influencers, negotiating with them, or taking care of the payment or finance team will take care of it. So Influcracy will act as their one-stop shop where we can do everything for them. And we can actually design campaign with them and then also launch this campaign. So this is additional brand consulting services also Influcracy can provide. So that is something that you can talk about as our go-to market category.
Awesome. And a question from the crowd here. You mentioned 90,000 influencers are on the platform today. What have your marketing efforts looked like in order to bring the influencers to the platform? I know you had on one slide the guerrilla marketing and the growth hacking.
Yes.
What has that journey been like, building up that user base, and how does it differ from the tactics you're using to bring on the brand clients?
Vinay, you want to take that?
Yeah, just I think to quickly answer this, email marketing worked for us, but it has like a brief history of working. So first thing is like we started with the Google ads, Facebook ads. We got like first I think 100 or 500 influencers from those advertisement, but those are like if you see the CSA is not going to make a business sense. Then we were looking for other alternatives, and that's how we discovered the email marketing thing. So majorly that worked for us till 50,000. But after 50,000, I'll tell you, the more campaigns you do, the influencers used to attract more influencers in their network. So like once they do the campaign, they used to ask each other like, oh, from where did you get this campaign? And there's like, okay, there's a platform called you can register. And that's how I think the rest of the 40,000 came. So it's like an email marketing
word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Word of mouth, yeah. Also, in our influencers mentioned in their Instagram post, hashtag Influcracy, which also helped other influencers in their network understand that this is something coming from Influcracy. So yeah, that's how it.
That's fantastic. Sounds like it kind of hit critical mass at 50,000 users, and you're just getting that organic word of mouth traction, which is incredible. Another question here. in regards to what people do now with managing influencer campaigns versus how they can manage it using your one-stop shop. Maybe you guys could expand on, for someone who's not using Influcracy, what does the kind of process flow look like for them to source influencers, design campaigns, track those campaigns,
Yes.
and how that kind of differs from what you guys offer?
Okay, I'll take that. So, anyone who is, let's say, doing influencer marketing for the first time, or, they do not know how to start with. So that is the first step you get to, how to start. How do I look for the influencers? Where do I go? So let's say you're talking about Instagram as a platform. So it's not easy to, search in the Instagram about influencers or going about the category. So let's say you know your brand, you know what category of influencers you can, talk to. You can put those requirements on the Influcracy, and Influcracy will reach out to those relevant influencers and get their interest in your brand. So it is basically the ball will be in your court. You will have the list of influencers who are interested in working with you. So that makes it more easy for you. Then what you have to do is just, if you have a team or if you yourself want to do it, you just scroll through the list. You say, okay, these are the influencers working for us. If you trust Influcracy, 100%, we will let you know, or the system will let you know which influencer will be the best to get you that kind of results that you're looking for. Another thing is, managing these influencers. So basically, constantly talking with them, explaining them what you're looking for, making sure that they're putting content on time. This is a very, hectic process, and you will need a team of like 4, 5, 6 people working on it. But Influcracy will take care of that as well. We have our system where we just put your entire brief with some sample media posts for their references, sample videos for influencers references. We have a channel where influencers connect with us if they have any doubts or concerns, and then they create content. We give influencers a timeline, a deadline to post content as well. And once they post the content, we get notified. We take care of that, content, and then we inform the brand, hey, this campaign is live already. The another part which is very important, the tracking of the campaign, which many of the brands are not sure about. They don't know what metrics should we be tracking. So that is also Influcracy can take care for you. We will give you a report and analytics based on whatever reach you got to this campaign. What are the engagements you got? How many influencers how many people visited your profiles through these influencers, posts or stories. So that is the entire report which will be there in front of you. So yeah.
Fantastic. And maybe just time for one more question here.
Sure.
What other social media platforms are you planning to integrate with? It seems like you're focused on LinkedIn and Instagram now. Are you planning on expanding out to platforms like TikTok, Be Real?
Absolutely. So we started with Instagram, but LinkedIn was what we can say, out of the box idea that we just clicked and we started working on that. And when we launched that during South by Southwest, we got a very good response from people, because they didn't see anything like that before. So their LinkedIn engagements were getting monetized. So that is something which gave us a boost to explore to different platforms. The next platform which will be on our radar, or which will be in a roadmap, is YouTube and TikTok. So these are the 2 platforms which will be right now we will be focusing on.
Awesome. Well, Dhruv, Vinay, thank you guys both so much. Time for our next presenter here. I'd like to introduce.
Absolutely.
Yep, thank you guys. I'd like to introduce Delian and Awana Karoma and Daniel Japainu with Persolyze, who are revolutionizing e-commerce sales with AI-powered personalization, even for first-time visitors to e-commerce platforms. With that said, I will relinquish the control of the screen over to you, Delian, and you can take the reins.
Thank you. Actually, ladies first, always.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wana, and I'm the CEO and founder of Persolyze. I'm joined today by Daniel, our CTO and co-founder.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
And Delian, our CEO and co-founder.
Well, thank you. Well, as you can see, we're a team of tech enthusiasts with a simple but powerful goal to humanize online purchase experiences, committing to helping e-commerce businesses, but not only. to create more personal connections with their customers right from their first visit. Well, imagine walking into a store that effortlessly resonates with you. It understands your preferences, your style, without being or feeling intrusive. It's intuitive and personal. It feels like home, right? Now, imagine that feeling mirrored into online shopping experiences. This is the magic we're crafting at Persolyze, making digital experiences feel like just as personal and intuitive as your visit to your local store. And this isn't just a nice to have. In fact, there is a McKinsey study that found that 71% of consumers demand this personal touch, while a staggering 76% feel disappointed when they don't receive it. Don't you feel the same? But for e-commerce business, it can be very difficult or even impossible to personalize the first-time online purchase experience for visitors. After all, they don't have any historical data they could work with. And that leads to low conversion rates and inefficient marketing budget spending. Actually, our personalized journey began 5 years ago, born out of the same frustration. For 15 years, we were crafting e-commerce platforms and marketing campaigns. And despite surpassing average conversion rates, it still didn't feel enough, no matter how much we refined client segmentation. The results were never quite we aspired to. It was clear the issue wasn't us, but the limited existing tools that couldn't facilitate one-to-one customer satisfaction. That's when and how Persolyze came to life. And now, using behavioral design and AI, we analyze how visitors interact with website in real time. The result? Personalized experiences that make first-time visitors feel comprehended and appreciated. And the impact is real. We're talking about multiplying conversion rates by up to 5x, turning new, unknown faces into loyal customers, exceeding consumer expectations, improving overall consumer satisfaction, and of course, increasing marketing efficiencies. Thanks to our real-time tracking and understanding of visitor behavior, we can offer spot-on product recommendations, almost like we are in the same room with the customer. Plus, integration is a breeze. It's automatic with popular e-commerce platform, and even custom solutions require minimal development effort. By doing this, Persolyze directly drives online sales and increase the average e-commerce company's cart size. Plus, we give them deep insights, we give them data, analytical data about the consumer behavior, which is actually a gold mine for fine-tuning their business strategies. While there are many recommendation engines out there, you can see that, none can deliver spot-on suggestions for new visitors like we do. And the sentiment analysis and the gamification make us not just understand your consumers, but better, but also keeping them engaged. Plus, our technology is cookieless. It's truly cookieless. Even our main competitor says that they have a cookieless technology. Actually, they don't. Only one of the 4 modes is a cookieless one. And this technology enables us to deliver accurate interest-based only recommendation to even anonymous visitors. The market potential, as you can see, it's massive, but let's say we only tap into a tiny fraction of it, just 1%. That still puts us in a game as an $8 billion business. Just imagine the possibilities. As you can see, our business model, which charges based on recommendation usage, is proven and highly scalable. Our go-to-market strategy emphasizes low customer acquisition cost, making us not just cost-effective, but truly high impact. On our roadmap, we have already proven that we can give results to our clients. As we can see, we achieved already some notable results. And recently, we've been selected by the AppSumo, the #1 marketplace for SaaS startups, as an AppSumo Select campaign, which actually is a very good thing for us, probably aiming to, based on their promise, to achieve another 1,000 or up to 3,000 users. The development roadmap started with an initial innovation funding from the European Commission that enabled us to build, launch, and grow the product. Today, we matured into a product that prioritizes our client ease of use. We are developing plugins for all the major e-commerce platforms, and even we are integrating now Zapier for seamless operations. With these steps, we are confident that we are confidently paving the path towards our targeting market opportunity of $75 million by the end of 2027. We strongly believe that Persolyze has the potential to disrupt e-commerce landscape, and we are eager to partner with investors who share our excitement and vision. And to give a quick snapshot of who we are tech lovers, passionate about personalization. And after 5 years of relentless work on Persolyze, we are confident that our team and our technology have the power to create substantial waves in the market. Right now, we are seeking to raise $2 million to supercharge our expansion into the US market. This will help us getting more customers, make our presence felt, and become a default choice for website personalization. Actually, we dream of a world when no site is left unpersonalized. Thank you for your attention. This was Persolyze. I would be happy to answer any question you may have and look forward to the possibility of future cooperation. Feel free to connect me on LinkedIn. It's really easy. You can scan the code and the QR code. Thank you.
Fantastic, Delian. Thank you so much. Really awesome seeing that use case, the 32.2% increase in sales, comparing day before integrating with Persolyze versus the day they onboarded with you guys. We do have some questions. First and foremost, how exactly are you identifying your user identities? Are you able to expand on what exactly you're doing behind the scenes there to identify the customer in a cookieless environment? And totally fair if that's kind of the secret sauce and you need to keep that close to the chest, but would love it if you could expand.
Well, Daniel, can you answer this? I think it's quite technical, but of course not giving too much.
Yes, thank you for the question. We identify the user based on a fingerprint created by some, for example, interaction in your browser.
Yeah, actually, it's a combination of.
Yeah, it's a combination. Use multiple choices like a user agent or not your location, but your also the. Sorry, I have some emotions. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty normal. No worries. Yeah. It's Daniel's first time when it's on scene. I can give a few notes, not as him. Actually, it's a combination between hardware, software, and behavior. We collect some hardware data, but without infringing any GDPR or any personal related legislation. Also, we collect a lot of passive data that the browser is giving, like the browser actually gives a lot of data, like the language you have installed, what kind of fonts, and I would not say more, but there are at least 174 signals that we can collect in a passive way from the browser. And then we combine that with the behavior of every user, and we can actually create a unique fingerprint, as we call it, for every user.
Fantastic.
Okay,
I
for
had no
helping.
idea my browser was tracking that much information about me, but definitely makes sense that with all of those different variables, you can really pinpoint exactly who that user is. One question we have from the crowd here that they may have missed, but what's your current monthly recurring revenue and your annual recurring revenue?
Well, actually the people or I would also speak about the main customer. The main customer now is the big enterprises. They usually pay this unlimited package. Our monthly recurring revenue now it's 15K, and that means an ARR of 15 multiplied by 12. Juana, you are the economist here.
Yes, indeed.
And also, we have some small players. We have some free trials from our developing stages, and also we have some customers who are paying here between $19 and $99. Actually, these are the areas of the paying customers, or they pay this one. They are small companies, or they are big enterprises with these packages with unlimited one.
Yes, and the ARR is $180,000.
Awesome. We'll definitely love to see that early traction. So congratulations to you guys. Great work getting there. Fantastic. And two more questions here that are from the crowd that I think I'll kind of combine into one. The first question, will you give any control to the site visitor to protect their privacy? And then kind of following on that theme, can the users delete their unique fingerprint profile?
Yes, they can do. The client is the one who is informing about the fact that they are collecting data, because the data that we are collecting about an e-commerce company customers, it's not our data, it's their data. So based on the contract we have with them, they are the one responsible to announce the client that they are collecting anonymously data about the visitor. And of course, based on the legislation, the user can send an email or complete a form in which they can ask the data that it's related to them to be deleted. But actually, because everything is anonymously, there is no possibility that a visitor can be identified with a real person.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. You did mention a pretty broad mix of go-to-market strategies in your go-to-market slide, ranging from like direct sales, cold calling, cold emails, as well as some partnership models. But just curious to see what has been the early success. Obviously, the team's very entrenched in this space and very impressive. Have you been, for these initial clients, leveraging existing relationships from previous roles, or has this been the result of channel partnerships or direct selling efforts? Where have you seen kind of your early success, and where do you see kind of the bulk of your efforts being spent from a sales and marketing standpoint here in the US?
Well, actually, it was a roller coaster, but that's normal in a startup. But we were quite lucky because in the beginning, we had support from a big e-commerce organization, which is called GPAC. It's an organization which is organizing a contest of the best e-commerce companies every year. That means that we have support from big companies, from big enterprises like Auchan, Mega Image, and also from 144 small to medium e-commerce companies. Some of those were also our first paying clients. And of course, one of those first clients were the clients that we had with the software company. Then our first efforts were into having direct messages and personalized email. And actually, that was the successful mix: personalized email, social media, direct messages, and direct calls. But then we had to leverage, and we started to create these partnerships with the channel resellers and affiliates. Actually, now in July, on 14th of July, we're onboarding 1,000 affiliates in a new platform. We're cooking right now, we're baking right now. So we hope that will be quite a great success. These affiliates will be treated like sales representatives paid by commission only.
Awesome, that's exciting, and right around the corner, 2 weeks out. So, and a good lead into our next question here. As someone with a sales background myself, once you sell things, then you have to implement them, and you're always thinking about when am I going to get that commission. But maybe you could expand on how easy the integration or implementation is once you've signed an e-commerce shop. How long does it take to get them up and running on the platform?
Well, Daniel, I think that's your area here.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, once you've signed a client, what's your implementation timeline, and how, what are the steps that it takes to integrate Persolyze with their e-commerce shop?
Okay. The integration is very easy and simple for any shop. For example, everything is automatic, especially for platforms such as Shopify, Magento, and WooCommerce, where all installation is done with the help of a plugin developed by us. And also for a custom shop, the development effort is simple because we can automatically integrate a Google feed, which means that an installation does not take more than 10 minutes maximum for each implementation.
Yeah, and can be done by a marketing person, not by a developer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, if you have GTM installed and you are using it for adding different kind of codes, you can do that with us. And if you have Google Feed, most of the e-commerce companies, they have this Google Feed. That's pretty easy.
10-minute implementation. I love it. And I only feel slightly jilted by even a marketing person could do it. But Deli and Daniel, Oana, thank you guys so much. Great job. Just moved Alex into the room, so I'm going to take back the screen share here. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
It
very
was a
much for
pleasure.
your time.
Thank you.
All right, our final presenter for the day is Alexander Kostopoulos from Sophotree, who are leveraging a combination of language models to distill information into concise summaries and analytics on businesses, people, and situations. So Alex is in the room now. I will relinquish the screen share control and let him take over.
All right. So Sophotree is an AI platform that turns businesses into intelligence hubs, helping every professional face the challenges that he's faced with during his everyday work, to find the right information, link the pieces together, and focus on what is important. Now, why do professionals need a platform such as Sophotree? Well, information, as you all know, comes in high volume and velocity. It's unlinked and it's heavily repeated. So how will Sophotree actually combat these challenges? Well, Sophotree has built a platform that analyzes information in real time from multiple sources and in multiple languages, taking everything in and providing real-time insights to its users. That includes real-time situational monitoring from different sources, and we have all seen how important that was and still is at the war in Ukraine. Multi-source information being put together around persons of interest organizations of interest, or topics of interest to provide a holistic view of what's happening around what each user is interested in. And by combining these two, we're able to provide undisrupted views for users around supply chains or any other global chains to provide products such as in this example of 787, where the rudder is produced in a remote area in China, and Sophotree would be able to actually pinpoint that there is a social unrest. Therefore, there might be a disruption in the provision of the rudder, therefore delays in the whole delivery of the airplane. Moreover, relevant information summarized around key topics from multiple languages again. Get the information from where the source is, how it is reported in the local language, not how the local news are translating and feeding you with information. You get it straight, translated from the local source, and summarized. And above all, filtering information, typing down English keywords and getting results again in English, but from the original source, meaning that you can pragmatically search everything now around the world. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Sophotree is complementary to ChatGPT likes. We're using existing language models, large language models, that we're fine-tuning to provide specific insights around different industries and different areas. And Sophotree is going to come down into two versions, a SaaS version and an enterprise version, where the SaaS version is going to be analyzing real-time open source information, and the enterprise version will analyze on top of open source information that's available within the enterprise, therefore providing a ChatGPT specifically for the enterprise and its employees, giving them the platform to ask questions and get answers around the knowledge accumulated within the business. So Sophotree aims at reaching multiples of values compared to what is actually being offered by existing businesses. And to do that, we are offering analytics and insights from open source information as a real SaaS offering, unlike what is actually being offered right now. Obviously, we're going to be facing and focusing more on recurrent revenues than one-time revenues. However, we're not going to neglect big deals that are going to be coming from big enterprises needing to organize internal information. Sophotree business advantages are situated around the way we work. And this is the ability to customize very fast new data flows with low-code implementations, make repeat sale of the very same thing with minimum customization for specific cases. And of course, all we do is organize around customized ERP. And with those business advantages, we have a number of industries around the world and specifically in the United States, where we can apply our platform from communications and marketing to credit rating, defense, and government. Going forward, we aim to maximize gain out of EU subsidies and available projects there, as we see those as the low-hanging fruit that we can gain no further and more knowledge, deeper insights, and on top, multiply the benefits to investors. We are an experienced team able to do so with extensive knowledge around the topic that we are working on. And we ask for 1.2 million to further develop our technology and land some enterprise contracts and win national and EU subsidies. Thank you.
Fantastic, Alexander. One question, I think everyone in the audience will kind of understand the SaaS model and the recurring clients, but can you give some examples of some of those one-time revenues? Are those special projects or just short-term engagements with clients? Maybe you could give us a little bit more detail on that.
Of course. We are currently engaged in the credit rating agency, and we are building information. We are analyzing and ingesting information from what they call additional open source kind of information from social media, from government sources, from whatever might be available in the news. Anything that's publicly available, we analyze, collect, and we provide to them so that they can have better credit ratings for customers that they have small visibility to.
Fantastic, fantastic. And where do you see your revenue split being between kind of the government space as well as the private sector? And maybe you can kind of base that on existing clients as well as, you know, what your ideal split would be between the public and private sectors going forward.
Okay, that's a very, very interesting question, because one cannot neglect the big bucks that are going to come out of government and related contracts. However, the focus must remain on the SaaS. Therefore, I would say that it would start with more than 50-50 towards the government, but over time, it will move or end up around, I would say, 20 to 80, favoring the private sector. Having said that, we would be able to land and start with the private sector. As you all know, signing a government contract takes time. So we are going to be going after private sector contracts, as we already do. And in the meantime, the bigger contracts that are going to come from the public sector, we'll get there and make that imbalance towards the government sector. However, the focus is on the private sector and primarily on the SaaS offering that is the driver for growth.
Awesome. Definitely makes sense kind of starting those longer sales processes with the larger government entities, but growing revenues through the private sector that's moving a little bit swifter and kind of attacking both channels as you go. Another question here, is your platform just relying on external data sources, or does it actually integrate with the internal data of your customers?
No, it does integrate with the internal data of the customer, and that's the whole beauty of it, meaning that we can split the information between what's open source and that we're going to provide on the SaaS, and therefore, make it available because it's open source information. But at the same time, if there is a lot of internal information that the customer wants to use, he can have the enterprise version where the external information that's open source with the internal information that the customer has within his premises can be put together and provide insights on what is the combination of both.
Awesome. Makes a lot of sense. That's kind of the delineation between the kind of basic SaaS model and then the enterprise package is that integration of the internal data.
Yep.
Well, going back to one of your slides with the side-by-side of Palantir versus Sophotree, how exactly do you defend the 30x to 100x expected ROI?
All right. So, if you, I'll just go back to that slide. I'm still screen sharing, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here we got an example of Palantir. If you go on Palantir's website, you're going to see that they're offering a SaaS product. So if one of the investors can find a plan that he or she can click on, put the credit card in, and start a trial of Palantir, then I'm all wrong. You won't find that. Therefore, it's not a SaaS. Therefore, what it's actually branded as SaaS, it's an off-premise setup of a product that we baptized as SaaS, that Palantir baptized as SaaS, but it's not SaaS. And the market knows that, and that's reflected into their valuation and the fear of reaching a ceiling by the investors. So our approach is actually there to break that ceiling.
Fantastic. And we do see that reliance, especially with some of their earlier iterations of the Gotham product, I believe, were very reliant on forward deployment engineers and a pretty complex implementation process. Kind of piggybacking on that, how easy would it be for your SaaS offering for a customer to get up and running? Is it truly as easy as you say? They can click and buy online, put their credit card information in, and be up and running?
Well, otherwise we'll fail. That's the goal. You go on, you click, and you follow a step-by-step guide that customizes the offering for you, specifically for your industry, for what you specifically do within the business as a person. Are you in the marketing department of the business? Are you in the business development? Are you in any other department of the business? And that Sophotree intends to customize via templates. You select your own template and off you go. Again, with open source information that you choose which ones are applicable to your business and your interests. And of course, we charge accordingly. Therefore, once you log in, there is a short onboarding, and after that, you should be all set. And that's the meaning of SaaS. SaaS doesn't mean that you're going to have consultants and engineers come over to your office, analyze your business, tell you spend a few months, and then here you go, you have a SaaS. That's not SaaS. SaaS is I put my credit card in, I choose the plan I want, and in a few minutes, I'm all set to go.
Well, Alex, I love it, that easy implementation. I agree, having engineers in your offices and consultants doing the implementation over the course of 6 weeks, 2 months is certainly not SaaS, or it's certainly not a nimble SaaS. So thank you so much for presenting today. Love the broad array of clients that this technology is applicable to. And for everyone in the crowd, we're right at 3 o'clock, but just a reminder, we will be sharing a recording of today's presentations, as well as the individual contact information, as well as the Calendly links to schedule time with each of the founders who pitched today. But thank you all so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
Thank you. Thank you all.